Here's your First Warn Weather Forecast First, sponsored by Anderson Collision Center. Visit driveanderson.com.
Lots of fun to be had here at the Discovery Center. Spooky Science just got underway about a half an hour ago and still runs until 7:30. So plenty of time to still get out here and enjoy in some of that fun. Tickets are still available to purchase at the door and lots of activities going on. We'll take you around throughout the show and show you just a few of the things that are going on behind the scenes. Temperatures today have been very warm outside of the building. We made it into the low 70s and upper 60s across the region. 68 right now, the current temperature in Rockford, and still warmer weather on the way as we head closer to the weekend. That's because of expansive high pressure almost directly overhead down to our south and east, and that's kept our skies clear and also going to bring us that warmer weather into the weekend. Eventually, though, that does break down and brings us an isolated chance for some rain and a brief cool down. I'll explain when that arrives and how quickly we warm back up coming up in the most trusted forecast a little later.
Right now at 5, the mother of a 16-year-old murder victim speaks out. She hopes her story can save someone else.
Plus, police make an arrest after that apartment fire in downtown. The man who confessed to setting 2 fires in 2 weeks.
And State Line students show off their artistic talents. The carvings on display at this year's Path of Pumpkins.
Live from WTVO 17. This is Eyewitness News at 5.
Good evening, I'm Mimi Murphy.
And I'm Wendell Edwards. We thank you for being here.
Family and friends are remembering 16-year-old Jaden Hill. She was killed in her apartment in Ashton 3 days ago. Police say her boyfriend was involved.
Eyewitness News reporter Blake Dees spoke with her mother today, sharing her story. Blake, she wanted people to know all about her daughter.
Yeah, a force, a light, a phenomenal sunshine. Mimi, Wendell, these are all words used by Jaden's mother, Virginia Garcia, to describe the teen. Garcia says Jane was blossoming into a caring mother for her 8-month-old girl. That was cut tragically short this week when Jaden was killed. Her boyfriend, 17-year-old David Sosa, is charged in her murder. While Garcia is still processing her grief, she knows Jaden will continue to inspire.
I don't want people to remember the sad. I want them to remember Jaden laughing, Jaden's smile, her love, her big heart. I don't want people to remember the sad things because that wasn't her.
Now, Garcia hopes sharing Jaden's story might one day save someone else's life. I'll have more on this story that's coming up at 6. Wendell.
Just heartbreaking there. Thank you very much. We look forward to that. Tonight, Rockford police say they made an arrest after a man confessed to setting 2 fires in 2 weeks, one at an apartment complex, the other at a local coffee shop. David Marshall is in custody tonight at the Winnebago County Jail. Court records say he confessed to lighting a fire at the Park Terrace building yesterday morning. Surveillance footage identified him breaking into the first floor of that apartment building and leaving after 3 minutes inside. He was found a few hours later. That fire injured 5 people, including a firefighter, and displaced 150 people from their apartments. Now, Marshall has also confessed to a fire at Wired Cafe on State Street from 2 weeks ago. That didn't result in any injuries, but the cafe is still closed for repairs. He faces charges of aggravated arson.
It's been over 13 years since a 6-year-old from Aurora was last seen. Timmothy Pitzen turns 20 years old today. He's been missing since May 11th, 2011. That day, his mother, Amy Fry Pitzen, picked him up unexpectedly from school. They were seen the next day on security footage at the Wisconsin Dells. 3 days later, he went missing. Amy was found dead in a Rockford hotel room. In a note she left behind, she claimed Timothy was safe and being taken care of, but wrote that he would not be found.
The United Auto Workers Union takes the next step in the battle with Stellantis. Today, UAW President Shawn Fain called for members across the country to authorize a strike. It is in direct response to a one-day strike by Stellantis workers in Italy. The union claims the terms of its contract have not been honored after Stellantis delayed the reopening of the Belvedere assembly plant. UAW Shawn Fain, the president, called for a strike in a video released on YouTube this morning.
Stellantis management has launched a campaign of intimidation and harassment against our members, our local unions, and the international UAW to try to get us to back down from the fight to save our jobs. I have bad news for Stellantis. We're not going anywhere.
Stellantis has filed several lawsuits against the union, saying the contract allowed the company to shift plans due to market conditions. And it has reaffirmed the company has not abandoned plans to open the Belvedere assembly plant.
Creative talents from across the state line are on display at Anderson Gardens' Path of Pumpkins. It's the fourth year the garden's hosting the event, which was inspired by a similar event at the Chicago Botanical Gardens. Their usual paths are decorated with the art from local students. 14 state line schools each have up to 15 carved, sculpted, and painted pumpkins on display.
We opened it up to the middle and high school students, and whether it was an art class or a club or a collection of students that kind of like just got together after school to do it, there really was no specific criteria on who can participate. We've had individual 8th grade classes participate, we've had the student councils participate, we had a sculpting club,
Anyone who attends the exhibit will get a voting card to pick their favorite displays. Voting lasts through the 26th. The 3 schools with the most votes will win a cash prize.
Tomorrow is the last day for bookworms to score some great deals at the Warehouse Book Sale. The sale is held twice a year at the Beloit Public Library. Leftovers from the library's bookstore as well as donations from the public are all for sale. 50 cents for hardcovers, just a quarter for paperbacks. This year between 5,000 to 6,000 books are available. Tomorrow, organizers say the savings get even better.
There are people who shop that just don't afford books any other way, so this is a great opportunity for them. But then on Saturday we do a bag sale, and it's $1 a bag, so it's picked over by that point to some degree. But you can still find some good deals and find a gem or a jewel here, and then fill a bag with it for $1.
The sale will be open tomorrow from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. All proceeds fund future projects and programs at the library.
On the campaign trail, it's a battleground blitz with just 18 days until the election.
Today, both candidates making a stop in battleground state of Michigan, trying to secure some last-minute votes.
And tonight at 6, a Rockford alderwoman shares her story, her advocacy for others after a battle with stage 3 breast cancer.
Trick-or-treating, pumpkin engineering, and potions are just a few of the things going on here at the Discovery Center, and Spooky Science goes until 7:30 tonight. Stay tuned, I'll bring you the weather forecast for the weekend, which doesn't look quite so spooky as it has as of late. All coming up in just a few minutes.
You're watching Eyewitness News, your home team, with Mimi Murphy, Wendell Edwards, Scott Leber, and meteorologist Jordan Wolf.
The presidential candidates are locked in a fierce competition to win critical battleground states, and today both candidates are rallying in the state of Michigan.
Eyewitness News is your local election headquarters. Hannah Brand has the latest on this presidential race.
Michigan is part of what's known as the Blue Wall, which also includes Pennsylvania and Wisconsin. These are key swing states seen as essential for the Democratic candidate to win to get into the White House. Vice President Kamala Harris is working to rev up support in Michigan, a state where the auto industry is a major driver, and she argues her opponent isn't the right choice for the working class.
Donald Trump comes from a place where he really does not appreciate or understand how most people in our country work very hard for all that they have.
Michigan also has a large population of Arab American voters, many of whom are critical of Harris because of her support for Israel and its military operations in Gaza.
Everyone wants this war to end, and this is an opportunity to actually get there.
Former President Donald Trump is also rallying in Michigan today. Both candidates are trying to pack their schedules on the campaign trail to prove they're up to the job of president.
He is ducking debates and canceling interviews. His own campaign team recently said it is because of exhaustion.
I'm not even tired. I'm really exhilarated. You know why? We're killing her in the polls.
On Fox and Friends this morning, former President Donald Trump predicted the top issue will be immigration.
And I think the border is a bigger thing than inflation and the economy.
And he argues he has a better record.
We had a great border, then they blew it, and I have to do it again. The difference is it's much worse this time.
Last night, the former president took digs at his opponent during a speech at the Al Smith Catholic Charity Dinner, criticizing the VP for breaking tradition by skipping the annual event.
My opponent feels like she does not have to be here, which is deeply disrespectful.
But Harris did appear in a pre-filmed video address for the dinner. In Washington, I'm Hannah Brandt.
Here in the State Line, clear skies and 70 degrees. A beautiful day this afternoon.
Jordan Wolf will let us know if that trend will continue into your weekend. His full forecast is straight ahead.
Now, your First Warn weather forecast from meteorologist Jordan Wolf.
We are out here live from the Discovery Center where Spooky Science is underway not too long ago and still runs until 7:30. So plenty of time to get out here and join in on the Halloween fun. At the Discovery Center, tickets are still available at the door, so come on down and enjoy some of the Halloween activities going on. There's a live science demonstration at the top of every hour, 6 and 7 o'clock still to go, to trick-or-treating. There's some potion making, pumpkin engineering, lots of fun and activities going on here at the Discovery Center. It does not feel at all like Halloween is less than 2 weeks away. The only way that we can actually really tell what season it is that our leaves are starting to change colors, and we actually can see those pretty well when we look with our downtown Rockford Mercy Health SkyTrack camera up on the Supply Corps building that is brought to us by Window World. Lots of sunshine, starting to see the shadows getting a little longer here into the evening, but you can see those colors really starting to pop there off in the distance. And temperatures underneath a lot of that sunshine have warmed very nicely, getting their way well into the 60s and low 70s for many of us here during the afternoon, now sitting at 68 degrees at the Rockford Airport. Heading into the rest of the night tonight, our temperatures are not going to drop all that quickly. We are only going to see temperatures down into the low 40s and upper 30s once again as we continue to hold on to warmer and warmer weather. The last couple of nights outside of last night, we're down in the 20s in a few spots, so we are going to be a little bit warmer for those overnight low temperatures and our afternoon highs. We'll also start here as we get into the weekend. Part of that reason is because we have expansive high pressure almost overhead down to our south and east, and that has kept our skies really clear across roughly the whole eastern half of the country with that high pressure, and that's going to funnel a lot of this moisture you see out to the west up and over that ridge of high pressure. That will bring us a little bit of cloud cover as we head into the weekend, but not going to bring us anything in the way of rainfall until we get closer to Monday night or Tuesday when this weak cutoff low system comes to pass. Notice what happens with these rain showers is we have a lot of dry air in place that's still counteracting a lot of the moisture that we have to work with, and so it's not going to allow much rain to actually reach the ground. As a matter of fact, most of that rain will be evaporating before it reaches the surface. We do have another chance for some rain as we head into Wednesday as another cold front comes to pass, but even that doesn't bring much in the way of soaking rain. The other reason that we are not seeing much in the way of rain is because I mentioned that lack of moisture. The lowest amount of the atmosphere is really, really dry, including down at the surface where our dew points have been in the 20s and 30s these last couple of days. Slowly but surely, those dew points will start to climb, reaching into the 40s and close to 50 degrees, but not quite quickly enough to allow much of that moisture to reach down to the surface with how dry everything has been as of late. So what does that mean for our temperatures? We are going to continue to be warm through the weekend and dry, as a matter of fact, as high temperatures return into the upper 70s as we head into Sunday and going into Monday. We do have another cool down on the way behind that secondary cold front, but it is not going to last very long as we rebound very quickly heading into the following weekend, and we are once again going to return to temperatures in the 70s. So in the short term, still very warm with those temperatures right back up into the upper 70s for a few days. A brief cool down following the pair of very slim rain chances, but a rebound in those temperatures right back into the 70s, more than likely, as we head into the following weekend.
Thank you, Jordan.
Scott's next with sports.
He's going to join us live from Belvedere North, where the biggest football game of the season in the Nick 10 will be taking place. Hononegah battling the Blue Thunder.
Now sports with Sports Director Scott Lever.
I am live at Milt Brown Stadium on the north side of Belvedere, where we are expecting a huge crowd tonight for this football game because it could be the game of the year in the Nick 10. 6-1 Hononegah will take on 7-0 Belvedere North. This will be one of our 2 games of the week for our overtime show tonight. Hononegah has won the Nick 10 championship 4 of the last 7 years and 5 of the last 10 years. This year, Hononegah has blown out every team on its schedule with the exception of last week when they won a hard-fought battle against Boylan 17-7. That might have been exactly the tune-up type of game they needed to prepare them for this tough Belvedere North squad. The Blue Thunder have a lot of speed and quickness, and they're very deep. They rotate in a lot of players, and that makes it challenging to game plan for the Blue Thunder.
I think that there's not anybody you can really key on. Their backfield has depth, as you mentioned, and we're just going to have to play solid fundamental football. Each guy's got a particular responsibility, and if they can do their jobs and do their responsibilities, I think we've got it covered.
I mean, with that triple option, it's tough, but at the same time, we do a good job of simplifying that with everybody having their own assignment and not worrying about trying to read and predict where the ball goes. Everybody has their responsibility, and if we do that, we'll be successful.
Belvedere North has never won the Nick 10 championship outright. They tied for the championship in 2014. The Blue Thunder are alone on top of the Nick 10 right now at 7-0. They control their own fate. They have Hononegah tonight and Harlem next week. That's two tough opponents. Belvedere North was in the same position 2 years ago at 7-0, but they lost the last two games. They do not want a repeat of that.
We pointed out that we're only one other team in our school's history has been at 7-0, and no team has started 8-0. So that's something that we're looking at, this week.
How exciting is it to week 8 to be in this position to where you do have a legitimate shot at winning it all?
There's nothing better. I mean, it goes through my head constantly. It goes through everyone's that's here's head. Like we're right there for the conference title. We've never won it alone.
What a game this should be, and there will be another game tonight in Dixon that could be the equal of this one or maybe even better, because the Dixon Dukes will be hosting the Byron Tigers in a battle for first place in the Big Northern Conference. The winner will most likely be the conference champ. Both teams are 7-0. Both teams have dominated every team on their schedule. These two teams have made a habit of putting 30 to 40 points on the board by halftime each week, but they're also outstanding defensive teams. It'll be a packed house down in Dixon. Tonight for highlights of both of these games, that's on Fox 39 immediately after the Oregon versus Purdue college football game. That kicks off at 7 p.m., so overtime should start right at 10:30 or shortly thereafter. That's sports from Belvedere. We'll be right back.
2 more hours of spooky science fun out here at the Discovery Center. The event runs until 7:30, so you still have time to come out here and enjoy some of that fun. Tickets are still available to purchase at the door. And there's a lot of things going on. Glow-in-the-dark activities, there's trick-or-treating, there's crafts, lots of fun activities to come out and enjoy and get into that Halloween spirit. Now, we briefly did get into the Halloween spirit with a drop in our temperatures just last week, but we've since started to warm them back up. We're back into the 70s in some spots again today. Heading into tomorrow, it'll be even warmer, mid-70s possible, and then upper 70s late into the weekend. Only a very slim chance for rain Monday night, Tuesday, and then again on Wednesday.
Thank you, Jordan.
We'll see you at 6.